So, there's been a lot of talk lately about this werewolf prepper thing. And I chuckle at it, and for good reason. Okay, first layer that we got to peel off the top. The keyboard commandos, which is going to probably make up about 80% of those claiming to be werewolf preppers. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you have to understand psychology just a little bit. Chances are high they don't have a quick reaction force set up so that the balloon goes up and they're going to hit your place within 15 minutes. I mean, can we already see where it gets a little stupid pretty quick? So I'm just saying, chances are high that there's going to be a little bit of time pass before they decide to hit you, and chances are high that at some point during that time before they decide to take a little trip to your pad, that they're going to experience some negative things. And when you see loved ones, friends, family, or maybe even just acquaintances, when you see them fall before you, you will instantly lose a lot of that excitedness for violence. So we're probably got about the 99% of the people that make the claims that they're going to do this at this point. Because a lot of them ain't going to have the stomach for it. It's just a fact. And even if they do, they got to be able to get to you without them being got. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that there won't be a such thing. What I'm saying is let's not be fearful of something that is much less of a threat than what's being made to, it's been made to seem. And don't worry, I have references, by the way, because I know a lot of people, oh no, because this person said, and that person said, and this person, I know. More of the Walking Dead psychology, I assume. Probably comes from the Walking Dead psychologist. I wouldn't even doubt if that's where this started, this whole subject. But anyway, I digress. There are resources that are available to you that you can verify what I'm saying. Not necessarily the stuff that I've covered up until now. That's not really covered here. Okay? But the real threat that you need to be concerned with and how you should deal with it most certainly are. So that's why I'm talking to you about this subject. You know, I find it funny because I'd had to deal with a threat of this locally. There is somebody that locally that made some kind of a comment to the effect of, and this was like a couple years ago, to the effect of, well, Mike can't own guns. You know, more or less that I would be a soft target. Some people are the biggest fucking idiots on this planet. And I would tell him, and this is how I would handle this. Exactly how This is how I lead. I don't sit there and say one thing and do another. I lead. And I'll say the same thing now that I said then. If that's what you think the wise choice is, just make sure that your fat ass is front and center so that everybody that you brought with you can make a conscious decision whether or not they want to continue to engage after they see what happens to you. You need to think long and hard about that. The dumbest thing you want to do is threaten somebody that's just trying to hang on to their own property. That's the dumbest thing, or the person that's trying to protect their loved ones. That is the absolute dumbest thing. And anybody that knows anything about room clearing or breaching buildings will tell you that it's something that you do not want to do. Because no matter how you slice it, you are putting yourself in one hell of a harmful situation. No matter the tactical gear you have, no matter the planning that you've gone through, there are so many unknowns. You have no idea. You have no idea how conventional or non-conventional that person is. They may not even need to do anything to take you out. They may not even have to do anything. You don't know what people set up. It's a stupid mindset. And one of the reasons why I want to cover this from this angle is if anybody gets the bright idea, it's stupid. But the real threat, and let me get to that, the real threat is going to more likely be the roving gangs. And they will come a little bit later on down the line. That is more likely your real threat. How you deal with them and, you know, how things will shake out. You can get a lot of information. There's a lot of authors out there that write fiction books, right? And they do so with a lot of research. And there are some really good authors out there, and there are some really bad authors out there. Some of the good ones, one of them is William Fortune. He writes a trilogy, the 1 Second After trilogy. Awesome. It actually goes in depth about roving gangs and how that happens. And yes, the man did his homework. And it also covers in depth on how it's dealt with. And I'll tell you what, you know, just that was the first book of the genre, if you will, that I read, was 1 Second After. And I mean, it's a hell of a journey. It really is. If you haven't read any of the books like that, I couldn't recommend it enough. Remember, my prepping priority list is, first is spiritual prep, right? Second is mental. And in my opinion, you're not going to build up the mental callosing you need by reading books, but maybe you have a little bit of a better idea of what to expect. Maybe you can at least have some barriers, some walls put up mentally for, you know, if it becomes an issue. So anyway, to the books. The ones after I'd already said, 1 Second After trilogy by William Fortune. The Borrowed World series by Franklin Horton. Incredible book series. Another one from Franklin Horton. Locker 9 series. And these books cover things like that. Again, they're just books, they're entertainment, okay? However, there is a lot of research that went into these books, and another one I don't have the physical copy of any of them is the Going Home series by Angry American. So, and again, you have to understand there is a lot of fantasy in these books, okay, because it's for entertainment, they're novels. But there's a hell of a lot of information that you can get out of them, and there's a hell of a lot of lessons that they can teach. And I highly recommend it. Roving gangs is something that is heavily covered. Yeah, you're going to have people that go around trying to take stuff that isn't theirs. The majority of it isn't going to be targeted for a particular person because they think this or that or the other thing. Just not. Just not. And I would say that the only ones that should be concerned as to something like that would be the real, the people that's really got a lot of stuff. I'll tell you what, people would be disappointed knocking me off to get what we have, because we don't have what people think. So, I mean, go right ahead, but you also got a little fact that I'm good to go home anytime it's my time. So, I'm good. So, I highly recommend the books. I really do think that that's a good way to get you mentally prepared, at least mentally aware of what to expect. And again, the remedies are in here. And I'll let you read it. But, yeah, they got the fix for it. And many books. I've read many more series than I just talked to you about. To be honest, I can't remember the names of them all, and I can't remember which ones are which, because there are several of them that I read. But there are several series that have pretty much the same answers for the same problems across the board. So I highly urge you to check them out. So just hang in there, folks. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you exactly every single detail about how things are gonna go down for any one of us, no less every one of us. Just take it day by day. And remember that prepper priority list. Spiritual preparedness. Because there will be things you come across that you're going to need to be able to reach for something much bigger than you. Then you need mental preparedness directly after spiritual preparedness. Because if you can't keep your head in the game, if you can't keep your head straight, you've already lost. A fact. After mental preparedness, you want intellectual preparedness. Know how to do the things. And then, lastly, as your physical preparedness, and I'm not talking about physical fitness, I'm talking about all your doodads, gadgets, and all of that stuff. Because the more you know, the more intellectual preparedness you have, the less of those gadgets you're going to need. And you're also going to need to know how to repair those gadgets when they break. You're not going to be able to do that without the intellectual preparedness. It is what it is. And the Father's in control. When He says it's my time, it's my time. If it's not my time, well, may He give me whatever it is that I need to be triumphant. That's all there is to it. I got to show up. I got to do my part. In the end, it's up to him. And I'm good with that. I am absolutely good with that. I've had enough loss. I'm good. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all coming. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. Hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.